this is Tony Tattoo coming at you, and this is Wide Open YYC. We're coming at you from the wonderful Kildares in the deep southwest of Calgary, Alberta. So here's a little bit of entertainment news for you. Justin Bieber is sad and needs our prayers. I remember when he got famous and I told my wife, I said, well, this is a rehab that's waiting to happen. Well, guess what? 4 rehabs later, he wakes up, he's married, and now has something the common people all have, and that's responsibilities. So let's look at a few other child stars that rose up to be big, earned a gazillion dollars. Lindsay Lohan, you know, the girl from Mean Girls. Todd Bridges from Different Strokes. Any of the Cosby Kids and Disney pop stars like Britney Spears. Remember when her cheese slid off her cracker when she decided to give herself a haircut? And then all of a sudden all her fans decided that they're going to get their hair cut? Actually, I just made that part up. But case in point, never try and cut your own hair when you're drunk. I know. Anyway, my point being is that entertainment corporations troll these talented kids and coax parents to whore them out. Take, for example, Tots and Tiaras. What a pile of little entitled monsters those chicks are. Honey Boo Boo, whose mother just got charged with the felony drug charge of being found with crack cocaine. Crack cocaine, is that still a thing? These kids become famous and become pop idols, and then just like Michael Jackson, when they become too old, they get thrown out with the garbage and stop being relevant. Then they lose their shit. Just when you thought the industry's done with them, some brainiacs developed reality shows to squeeze the last little bit of soul that anyone has in them right out to make a buck. Now there are success stories of child stars who were properly parented and became successful. Take the Olsen twins. They had their own makeup and clothing lines, and now they became millionaires. So again, it all boils down to proper parenting and looking after the best interest of your children. In other news, we finally have an election that's been called in Alberta, thank God. People, I implore you, get out and vote. Ask yourself, and this is April 16th, when the election's happening, but ask yourself one question. Is Alberta better off today than it was 4 years ago? We also have a great show for you. Remember to tell your friends to subscribe to our show on YouTube and join us for the conversation on Twitter and Instagram.
Hi there, and once again we are back, and we're at the beautiful Kildares Pub, and this is Wide Open YYC, and this is No Limits. It's Jamie Stern, and we have Miss Lee, Shauna Lee. She's back with us today.
Shauna Lee.
All
right, you're back.
She's back. She was in beautiful Mexico, and
I was. It was amazing.
not much of a tan. I'm not sure how much sunblock you were wearing, but
I don't tan very well.
Factor 250, you know.
she's a Kelowna girl. She used to tan. I don't know what's going on. It must be an age thing.
That's an age thing.
It's
Yeah,
an age
definitely.
thing. So you just lost all your melatonin, or
Well,
what?
last week I was there. I spent under the umbrella because it was too hot. So I kind of hid under the umbrella for last week. So whatever.
Oh
It is
well,
it
what do
is.
you do, right?
It's Mexico.
It's Mexico. Your liver is probably doing a pretty good job in there. Stay back, stay back.
I think my liver actually crawled into my ass and like ran away.
Probably, like all of ours.
And tell me about the food. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why.
So we're here also with Tony Tattoo.
Howdy.
And how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome.
Yeah.
I'm doing awesome. No, I really am.
You really am? Doing
Yeah, I
awesome?
am. Really am.
That's good. You're not lying?
No, no,
No? So
I'm good.
And we have Mr. Styles back here in the background. How you
Hey, it's the monkeys. No.
doing,
DJ.
Good
DJ
stuff, good
style.
stuff. So today a few things that we're going to talk about. So as I'm sure the majority of our viewers know, that I'm a massive Motley Crue fan, as well as, well, I'm not sure Tony is or not, but I know Miss Lee is for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I was up until I read the book The Dirt, but massive fan.
Okay, massive fan.
Yeah. But
So-
now not so much.
So anyways, yesterday the movie The Dirt came out on Netflix, and so I've been very excited to see that. And we had a bunch of girls over at the house
We had
last
a little
night.
party
So
last
we had a
night.
little Motley
We had a
Crue
little
party.
Yeah.
And I'm amazed you guys showed up today. It was like a,
I know.
I'll be honest,
I know,
it was
just
tough.
It was
yeah.
tough for me. It was
Yeah.
really tough.
I was just
That
like-
alarm kept going off for like 5 more minutes.
We almost had a new Dan's rant. He was like, why drunk girls can't show up at work on time. But
Well, Well, you know.
You guys,
We made it.
yeah.
We made it. We're troopers.
That's right, absolutely.
So my take on the whole book so the book was great. I loved the book. I only read it once back in my 20s. I should actually do a review on it, but the movie, I honestly thought it would be a little bit better. It is a Netflix special and whatnot, but I kind of think that they should have done the Paramount way, that they should have actually done the movie, like kind of like what Queen did with Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah.
That way they had more time, I just feel like it was thrown together really quickly. A lot of the details from the book weren't even in there. I mean, I wanted to see the groupie shit. I wanted to see them in the letterbox and the phone in their vagina, right? I wanted to see all those things.
Well, they did do the squirting scene. That was fun.
Yeah,
That was
it's
kind
not
of
good
fun.
enough. I needed more.
Yeah,
I needed more.
I was talking to Tony earlier,
Yeah.
and I would say out of 10, I give it a solid 6.
I'm a 6 as well.
6, yeah.
I give it an hour and a half, I'll never get back.
This is coming from a musician.
From a musician. Yeah.
So what was your take on it?
It was just lame.
It was like,
Really?
It was
It was
cheesy,
like-
but the band was cheesy though. That was kind of who they were, but the movie definitely didn't live up to.
it still was glossed over. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the thing is that, like I said in a previous episode, that I saw the band when they were monsters. When they were like they came out of the LA scene. They were on their first tour with Ozzy Osbourne. They were just like they were a phenomenon, right? And then just after, I think really things changed and took a sour turn when Vince had a car crash, and it really went.
And his daughter passed
And his
away.
Oh yeah,
I know,
which is
I did
really
not
sad,
know
right?
about that.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'd be tough.
Snyder, yeah, that would be like really,
Yeah.
really tough.
And so
Yeah.
the band, well, first of all, the band, when that happened with Vince, the band kind of created distance from him and the rest of them. So he's kind of like an outsider.
Yeah.
Well, he
Yeah.
became sober though, so he decided that he wasn't going to drink because of all the guilt. So remember that, and he's like, I just want to have some fun near the end because the whole band went
The whole
sober
band
after
went
Nicky.
sober after that.
did
Well,
his-
then everybody else went the opposite direction, right?
Mhm.
I mean, so really, the book, and I appreciate the fact that the book was very, very true. They were there, they just laid it out there, and I appreciate that. But it really kind of made it come home that you rise. I kind of did it in my monologue a bit. You rise to stars rise, stars shine, stars fall.
Fall. Yeah.
And when you get put up on a pedestal that far, the fall, when
It's
you hit
hard.
the ground, hurts.
It's hard.
It's hard.
That's why there's a lot of people ODing and stuff, like in the band world and stuff, and committing suicide and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because once you're up here and you go down here,
Yeah, you become irrelevant.
exactly.
And
yeah.
and so that is something that I think management of these people need to be. All they do is they just milk them.
Yeah.
Get as much out of your soul as
Money
possible,
is-
as much money out of you as possible.
Yeah.
Once you become irrelevant,
Eat you up
bye.
and they spit you out.
Yeah, we'll see you in a reality show.
Yeah, and that's like any actor or actress as well, not just
Yeah, exactly.
musicians or
Right.
whatnot.
Everybody thinks that, the life in the spotlight is so great. You got money, you got this, you got fame, you got, anything at your fingertips. But really,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, like, it's a lonely life. Because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're in a hotel night after night after night by yourself. Like, well, I mean, sometimes you got hookers and blow and
Hookers and blow, Charlie Sheen.
hookers and blow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's suddenly it goes.
Yeah, I'm 10 years old, I have credit cards, and I have my head stuck up a hooker's ass. I don't know. What do you expect me to do?
Sounds like every guy's dream, doesn't it? If I was a guy, I'd be like, yeah,
What
sure.
about you, Tony?
What about me?
Yeah, so
Yeah, let's get into this.
let's get into this. So,
You've been in a band for many, 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 many years.
Yes. Yeah.
So-
We were on the the below. We weren't stars, but we kind of stars within our own
so
community.
you basically had a train of groupies that would hang out.
We had a lot of
Yeah.
girls that we had understandings with,
So,
mutual understandings.
can you clarify?
I think that pretty much spells it out. It's like,
Understand.
you may not be Mrs. Right, but you're Mrs. Right
Right now,
yeah,
But
yeah.
when Miss
But
right now,
you know what? The whole thing was always laid out in advance. It was like there was no
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
yeah,
Absolutely.
you're gonna be my girlfriend forever. It's like no,
Yeah.
it's
This is like,
Well, that's why I was a little disappointed with The Dirt, because I really wanted to see a lot more groupie stories. I wanted to see like what
Girls-
really happens
girls
behind
love-
the scenes.
Girls, okay, so let's get into this.
All
You
right.
and I have talked about this on many times. Girls love musicians. Like
Why?
It's
We didn't like the guys
thing.
in band class in high school. We thought they were geeks.
Yeah, they were
I
playing like
didn't like-
flutes and shit though. They weren't playing like drums and guitar.
This is actually a good point because actually
Seriously, we didn't like those guys in.
my wife Kaz met me by coming into the bar and then we were doing an AC/DC song with the band and came in and she went, I want that. And I went, okay, I want
I
that.
want that too.
And here we are, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But what is it though about musicians?
I think
and
because girls like the bad boys. They want the bad boys. They want the
But why? You got
excitement.
the nice guys out there that are so good to you.
Because
they're
they're
out
boring.
But they also don't
boring.
realize. But they also don't realize the ball of neurosis they're dealing with, right? Because I'm neurotic, so because you know.
It takes a special
Issues,
kind of
right?
person to like date a musician. Definitely,
Yeah,
it takes a special
absolutely.
kind of
Well, they're always
patience
on tour. They're
and
always gone.
temperament.
You know they're cheating. You know they're double dipping.
Well,
you know that
not
for
all
sure.
of them.
Well,
Not all of them.
a
Let's
lot of
not-
them.
Pick one who isn't.
thank you,
Actually, you know what?
Tony. You.
Well, no, yeah, me. But I think Bono from U2. I think he and is he's
Straight up.
He was married a long time. Still, you know, like U2 is kind of an enigma of a band. I don't know. I don't mean to take a tangent here, but they're
Right.
like they reinvent themselves and they're always relevant. They're always seem
And
to
there
have their
are-
heads on.
But out of every 10, I'd say
Oh, yeah.
musicians, I'd say maybe 2 are like not
Yeah.
doing what they're not supposed
That's
to
got to be
do.
a really lonely life though after a while, being on the road and missing
I
out
agree.
on family events and, you know, everything.
Mm.
That must be really, really hard.
Yeah.
You know, being away, especially if you have a girlfriend or you're married or for me, even with my family, just being away from them would suck.
Yeah.
Being on the road and stuff. So I do get that they get lonely and that kind of thing, but at the end of the day, it's
If they're bringing home like Hep C and whatever
Yeah.
else already, okay, enough. That's, we're done. We're done here.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So I don't know. I just I just want to know what it is about these guys. There's lots of other awesome guys out there, but it's something about bikers. I don't know what it is about bikers. Any guy on a motorcycle, I'm telling you, I'm like,
I just
these
think
guys
that-
are down there.
I think if I could go ahead I just think that these guys look so sure of themselves. And
So
They're
confident.
Confident
They're
and-
confident. They have
and-
that strap. They got
and-
that like.
And they know every girl in the room wants
is
to fuck
looking
them.
at them. Yep.
And I also think women like being protected and taken care of.
Yep.
So they want the,
So why-
they want the guy.
Well,
right?
why would we go for the nice guy then? If we want to be protected and taken care of and it's a safe relationship.
Safe.
You'd go with the nice guy who knows that wouldn't cheat on you, bring you back some crabs.
Because you gotta experience the nasty to find the right guy, right?
You gotta kiss some frogs to get your prince.
But how many warts do I need to
Yeah, how
to
many warts do
take
you have
in
to go
off
through
this
though to
frog
get-
to find the right guy?
Oh, only you can answer that question, Miss Jamie Stern.
I have now created another wart.
Now
Next. I'll take another frog, please.
One more. Let's
One
try
more
it again.
my way, my
Yeah.
way.
I'll take one frog for 500, Alex.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, I don't know. So the book, going back to the book, I think the book,
Better.
the book was great.
The book was better.
And I recommend anyone to read the book, but the movie was an epic fail for me. I know, I hate to say
And
it.
she loves Molly.
And I
Crew.
love
She
Molly
is
Crew.
like a Molly Crew 100%.
There-
Die hard, but
There is one book I'd like to see being being put in a movie format, and that's White Line Fever. You know, Let Me Kill Mr. from
Lemmy.
Motorhead.
Yeah.
oh, jeez.
That would be
That would
one
be
hell of a
good line.
movie.
Yeah.
That
You
would
know,
be amazing.
and I God rest his soul. I met Lemmy a few years ago, and he was the biggest gentleman in rock and roll that I've ever met.
Yeah, yours.
And he's just
He's still a
true blue.
partier, isn't he? He's still partying and doing drugs and all that, I heard.
He's dead.
You like that?
He ceases to exist.
I'm sure he's still
pushing-
partying.
He's pushing up
partying up
daisies.
there. He's up there partying. There can-
That's what I meant. He's up there.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. He's up there with
He's up
Hendrix
there
and
partying?
the Hendrix
He's up
and
there
Jim Morrison and the rest of it. Janis Joplin.
Goes to show how much of a Motorhead fan I am. I The Ace of Spades is all I know about that band. That's it. I'll play some cards with them.
You gotta read White Line Fever, you'll enjoy it.
No, I will for sure. I can't
I'll
believe
let it
that
do
was
it.
got on tape. Awesome. And you're probably not going to take that one out, are you?
Are you
No.
kidding me?
Great.
You can't make this shit up, people. You can't make this shit.
This is all real, it's great.
He's dead. Oh, okay. I knew that.
Sorry,
I
I
knew
knew
that.
Oh, wow. Well, 50 Shades of Red going on right now. Shall we? Start a new topic.
I missed you.
Oh,
I missed
dear.
you.
Yep. So I have to say something really funny. This is
Okay.
actually right off topic, and
Funny
it
when
actually
you
just
said
kind of
it.
reminded me. My mom, when she watches this, is going to laugh. So when I bought my very first house, I was 19 I think I was 18, turning 19.
When you bought your first house,
Very first house. Yeah.
oh, you're way ahead of time.
Responsibilities.
Well,
Probably
that,
on the
that bartending,
Yeah, it was
that
comes
bartending
out
made me
destroying
$500
brain
a
cells.
night.
He was out destroying brain cells, and I
Yeah,
was
stomping
bartending,
brain
making
cells.
like $1,000 a night.
She was
It
making
awesome.
$500 a night.
Back in the day when you could actually make that kind of money.
When we actually made money.
So I buy this house or whatever, and I had roommates at the time, and I had some roommates staying in the basement, so I didn't really go down in the basement a lot. And my mom said to me, and I can't believe I'm saying this on camera, but I mean, I have to make fun of myself, right? We need ratings. So,
Self-deprecation, really, actually.
my mom goes, Jamie, I really think that you need to replace your furnace filter. Have you replaced it yet? I'm like, I don't have a furnace. She's like, what? I said, well, I haven't seen a furnace. Where's the furnace? She's like, you bought a house and you don't know where your furnace is? I'm like, I have one. So I had to go downstairs. It was like way in the back of the house. I didn't know.
Oh, it's beyond that door that
was
I never
so
opened in my
young.
life.
I didn't even open it. I swear. I knew I had a water
Don't go
heater,
beyond the
water
door.
tank. So I tell my dad this. My dad's like, "Oh my,
No.
did I not do a good job with you? No, come with me.
Did I not teach you?
Did I not teach you anything?" So he brings me down, shows me, but oh, I'm telling you, my mom spit out her tea. It went right over like everything. She's like, Jamie, you're kidding. I'm like, no, I'm not kidding. I swear.
What do you think heats the house?
I thought it was a water tank.
No, honey.
Well, I was 18. I didn't know. Anyways,
Yeah,
That's a
okay.
good one.
That's a good story.
you like that one?
Yeah.
Is everyone else laughing?
Everyone's
I'm
having
so
fun.
glad.
Yeah, it's like
I'm so glad.
That's a very lol moment, yeah.
So you went from
With a little bit of
dirt-
OMG.
so you went from the dirt to groupies to STDs to embarrassing moments.
Yeah.
Shauna.
Okay, I was telling Tony today that about 8 years ago, he lent me a book, Ace Frehley. The book Ace Frehley about Kiss.
Is he alive or dead?
I think he's
He's
dead.
alive, yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make
Is he
sure.
dead or alive? I
He's
don't know.
alive. Ace Frehley's alive.
Ace Frehley's alive?
Yeah. Ace Frehley is alive.
He's alive, alright. Awesome. Okay, so we got that cleared up. Anyways, he lent me the book to read. He's just going right off sideways. Lent me the book about
Yeah.
8 years ago,
I forgot I had it.
and I found it like a week
Were
ago.
the pages stuck together?
Ew. Gross.
Because he
Yeah.
fell asleep in the bathtub and dropped it in.
I just got it the other day, and I was like, shit, Tony, I still have your book. And I was like, he's like, that was like 8 years ago I lent you that book. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, what do you want it back? He's like, that'd be nice. I'm like, okay. And another book I read on books, Read by Sandy Hagar.
Oh,
Have
okay.
you read that one?
No.
By Sandy Hagar.
Is it good?
That's an awesome book too. Really good. Kind of the same backstory.
Somebody
Drunk
here is
story,
musician.
like drunk, party, blah, blah, and then he went sober. And the rest of
Oh,
the
then everything went
the rest of the
boring.
band were like drinking and partying, and he was like the only sober one. Could you imagine?
Always saw that meme on Facebook where you see Sammy Hagar, 71 years old, you know,
He
and
looks
looking great, and then you
amazing.
see Bill Clinton, 71 years old, married to Hillary. You got, you got drive through the knothole backwards, you know. It's like it's
blowjobs
Billy.
I thought it was funny.
Shauna, I love how you skirted around the embarrassment
I know.
moment question.
I was going to ask you an embarrassing moment question,
Yeah.
and you went straight to the book.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
that embarrassing moment.
Okay, embarrassing.
I
Oh.
was talking about the
my
furnace and the fact that Motorhead guy is unfortunately passed away.
God rest his soul.
God. I don't know. I can't think of one.
Nothing, hey?
You probably have one though. You've known me for 20 years. You probably have one for me.
Oh, I don't know. You're
Come
young
on.
before anything ever happens. We go out 9 o'clock to go
Well,
to bed.
now,
Yeah, so they
it's
never a
old.
chance to do anything. I think think the funniest thing though is we're in Morgan's one night and we're partying as broken toys.
No, not that one.
Broken
Whoa.
toys. And we were a bit of a broken toys groupies at one point.
Yeah, we were.
So we were in there hanging around and all of a sudden Shonda goes missing. She had really blonde hair at the time.
I would disappear.
And of course, here I am, like she's my roommate, gotta make sure she's okay. So I'm looking around. So I finally go outside and I think maybe she's going to the bathroom. And this girl comes up and I'm like, have you seen a blonde girl at all? Anywhere? She's like, well, look around.
There's
That's another
tons of
stupid thing I
them.
say, right? They're like, hello. So finally I look around, someone's like, well, there's someone passed out in the dandelion bush by the McDonald's over there. Maybe you should take a gander over there. I'm like, and I knew, you know what you just know? I'm like, it's her. I know
It's
it's
her.
her. She has to go and fetal her way into a position and sleeps anywhere. She doesn't care where it is. Maybe Hastings Street. She'll be
I
like,
did.
sorry guys, can you just move your mat over a little bit?
I just need to take a little nap on the sidewalk for 20 minutes.
Yeah. So of course I walk down in there. She has blonde hair. It's like somebody actually like laid it out perfectly over her body, and she's just sleeping soundly, right? And there's like people walking by. They're all
Taking
looking at her.
pictures.
Like, who is this chick? This is a pretty nice looking girl to be a street person.
Yeah, no, I was just drunk. Okay.
That's just drunk.
On that topic, yes, I do have one cool story about Morgan's. I do have one
you're
cool
peeing
story.
in the urinal.
Oh, that's another one.
There's
We have
so many.
Anyways, it was Morgan's, it was busy, it was packed. They had a bathroom with 2 stalls in each bathroom. And that bar was like, it was lined up for the bathroom, everything.
We all know Morgan's bathroom
Like
balls.
that's why I went to pee outside because there was too much of a lineup, so I had to go outside to go pee. Anyways, so I go in the guy's can because the line was shorter. So I go in the guy's can and I went to the stall and I like shut the door and I was peeing and I came out and I walked in up to the urinal to the sink to like wash my hands. And I look over, guess who's sitting beside me? Dar McBool. Remember from
The weather guy.
the weather guy from Calgary News, remember?
Oh, okay. There.
Dar McBool, he used to do the weather. He was standing beside me. I was like, oh, you're the weather
I
guy.
thought you were peeing in the urinal though. Are you just trying to say that off camera?
Shh.
She
Anyways.
was actually peeing in the urinal.
Shut up. Anyways.
Did you?
Yes. She goes, hey Dar,
Hey.
what's up? You
Hey,
can't lie
hey
to
Dar,
our
no,
girls.
I said, hey Dar, how's the weather?
Yeah, how's the weather? You cannot lie to our
Yeah, it's
viewers.
raining
I just
again.
told a fun story that was very embarrassing. She was peeing in the urinal. Let's
Oh
clarify.
my god.
Because there was nowhere else to pee.
That
and
takes
she
skill.
looked up, she goes, hey Dar,
What do you think about it?
how's the weather?
She's got skills.
you're
That's
no
skill.
good. You're no good at covering my back.
Well,
You're
it is
so
no
good at
limits,
that.
and I have an obligation to my viewers.
Oh, is that right?
An obligation to my viewers.
All right.
Yourself?
Most embarrassing moment?
Yes.
Well, I got a really good one.
All right.
So we were playing in Edmonton. It was like first time with Dirty Deeds, which we're gonna have actually on a future show. We're gonna try and see if we can Skype the boys and stuff like that from Edmonton.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. So we were thinking about that. Anyway, so it was like we finally broke into the A circuit. This is like our big show, and it was a Halloween show. And I had throat issues because I mean it's AC/DC. What do
Do I want to
expect?
ask? Or?
No, it's just regular. It was a regular. I had like a cold or infection of some sort, but so I was given like Tylenol 3s. So I took a couple Tylenol 3s, right, and then started to feel better. And then our manager at the time, you know, I don't even know if he's dead or not, but he should be.
This show is all about
And,
death.
And he's like, says, I said, look, I like a couple drinks before I go on stage. He goes, well, no, I got a bottle of Jack Daniels in the car, which was a way better idea apparently.
Yeah.
So we chugged back about a half bottle of Jack Daniels, and,
Oh,
which
gross.
inevitably hit the Tylenol 3, which inevitably hit me when I hit the stage, and which inevitably hit when I fell over and hit the drums, and knocked the drums all over, and inevitably was singing wrong lyrics to the wrong songs.
So it's like
and,
a Motley Crue moment.
oh yeah, I was just
Yeah.
oblitterated. I didn't know where I was or what I
Didn't
was
even
doing.
know what was going on.
You know, and I had, you know, next day we had a band meeting, and I had like 4 guys, you know, and they were saying, you know, you're so fortunate that the bar owner was as drunk as you were because nobody knows. But it was funny that every set the bar would fill up, and then when we started playing, it would clear up.
Is there a
And then-
scare that you're gonna fall off the stage?
No,
or-
because I was drunk out of my head. I was like babbling, you know, I wasn't even singing or whatever, and then wiped out the drums.
But
so.
really, at that point, do girls even really care? Because all they're really looking at are those leather pants, what's inside
The
those
tight
leather
pants and, yeah, exactly.
You know, we do love the singing, don't get us wrong, but we are there really to just eye you up.
Oh, yeah.
We're eyeing you up.
Well,
for
just
sure.
like guys going to a show, like
Well, I
a
don't
shred
think
show.
that was one of my proudest peacock moments. By any means. I was just a drunk ass. It's like,
Did you get really sweaty in those leather pants? Because I've known you
Yeah,
a long
those leather
time.
pants on stage must be hot.
Because I heard Jim Morrison never took his pants off. Like he was very anal about things.
Ew.
Yeah, and he'd stinky.
Ew.
All his groupies would say that he smelled like
Well,
dirty down there.
no, there's a funny that David Lee Roth, actually, when they first went on Van Halen first went on tour, he got these specially made leather pants.
Yeah.
He said it turned his legs all fucking purple, right?
Gangrene.
So all purple. So he said he was like he'd be going to bed with a groupie, and but he had he'd wear underwear. So you take the underwear off, and it'd be like that big beacon on his purple legs and everything else.
Do I want to know?
Oh, you have to read the book. Crazy from the Heat. It's a good book.
Crazy from the heat.
Yeah, I'll let it do.
And
And
I'll
then
promise
I'll
I'll-
wait 8 years to get it
No,
back.
see, I actually read the books really quickly and give them back really
Yeah.
quickly.
Is that right?
Yeah. I borrowed 2 of their books and I gave them back right away, kind of.
Yeah, well, no, you left them perfectly on my little table beside my bed.
But you should check out Whiteline Favorites.
With the remotes all perfectly placed.
I know, I'm very OCD, everything has to be
Oh
perfect.
my god, so I was in Mexico for 2 weeks. She stayed at my house to look after our dog, the other dog. So she stayed for a couple weeks. OCD over here, like if you move the toaster like an inch, she notices. If you
It's
move
really
like
weird.
a fork and a knife, she notices.
But I don't
came home-
notice that I have a furnace. This is what I don't understand.
I come
You know?
home, all my remotes, we have like
What the hell heats
We have
your
like
household?
5 remotes for, Netflix, everything else. Everything was perfectly placed when I got home. The remote.
I even
like,
did it in a fan.
She
motion.
did it like in like a little fan.
Oh, yeah.
motion. I came home. It
was like Bed Bath and Beyond
I'm
thing,
like,
huh?
really, Jamie? She's like, that was for you.
I've got a future in hotel housekeeping.
Housekeeping.
Oh,
You get a
she's
fan?
like,
Housekeeping.
she.
That
I
used to
lived with
drive me
her.
nuts.
I lived with you for off and on for 6-7 years.
Mhm.
And I swear to God, like I'd be passed out on the couch, she would lift my feet, vacuum underneath
Oh, yeah.
me.
And then pick up all the 2 6s of vodka and bags of hickory sticks that were all
Hickory
on the couch.
That used to drive me nuts living in hotels.
Housekeeping. Okay.
Remember, Dave?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You need,
Oh,
you need
yeah.
the do not disturb sign.
Yeah.
Oh, we never had those.
Why?
we
Because
should
the next
make
groupie
one.
was going to come in.
No, because we lived in the band rooms. Nobody cared.
And they didn't realize that we had
We used to
just
sleep on
fallen
top of the
asleep.
sheets. Yeah.
You used to what?
They didn't realize we had just fallen asleep.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, exactly.
Right.
And they're up there, housekeeping. I'm gonna rip your head.
And it's like 7 in the morning, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want crystals!
Why are you angry about the shit?
Oh, anyway, so that's hilarious. I love hearing those stories
Yeah.
and your stories.
Many.
I missed you guys.
We missed you
Yeah,
too.
so
We missed you
missed
too,
you.
Mrs. Holiday
So
over
nice.
here.
I know.
I'll be going on holidays soon too.
She's
though.
going away soon.
Maybe
too, so.
Hawaii.
Really?
Hawaii.
Little luau.
Ooh, little luau. Who knows? Or maybe some
Her,
Mexico.
her 25th birthday.
My 25th birthday. I know. I'm so young. Lots of ollies.
Bullshit.
Anyways, so nice to be back here, and Mr. Dan's coming in. Hi, Dan.
Hey!
Dan!
Daddy!
Ooh, ooh.
Oh, Daddy boy!
For once, he
Oh,
has
Daddy
nothing
boy.
to say. He's so quiet.
Weird.
You guys been drinking?
Yeah.
Anyways, so thanks to Tony Tattoo and Miss Lee for being here, and Kildares and Mr. Styles. And yeah, so have a wonderful weekend, and we will see you next week. Take care. Bye.
What is with these chicks today who just come up to you when they meet you for the first time and they're like, "Hi, I'm Karen. I'm a bitch. And don't talk to me before I've had my coffee. I listen to murder podcasts." Those aren't fucking personality traits. And they're not attractive. And they're off-putting. Just because you call yourself a bitch doesn't give you the right to be a fucking bitch. These are the same kind of girls that end up being the duffs in the group of friends. And they go to the bar and they try to scare away all the other men. We're dancing, leave us alone! They call them the duffs because they're the designated ugly fat friend. And nobody ever fucking pays attention to them because they introduce themselves as the bitch. Well, no fucking wonder nobody wants to fucking dance with you or hit on you or buy you a drink. You can't roll out to the bar in a belly shirt with your gunt hanging out and facial piercings and purple shaved head, call yourself a fucking feminist and expect people to want to be around you and try to sex you up. By the way, are there any good-looking feminists? I've yet to see a good-looking woman be a feminist. I only notice it's the fucking ugly chicks who have a shit attitude about life, who don't want to be around anybody, who think all people hate them. You're right, we do hate you, because you're fucking awful to be around. That's why. Not because of how you look, or because your tits are small, or you got back knee, or whatever the fuck. It's because your shit fucking attitude. You need to adjust that shit. And maybe then people will show you more positive attitudes. And then you won't be so down in the dumps and fucking awful. Like, these girls are just like, oh my God, men are just awful. They're always trying to rape you. So then you don't talk to them. And they're like, men are assholes. They need to think I'm sexy because I'm my own person. And I dress like a 50s pinup model despite the fact that I look like a fucking rainbow dump truck. Well, what do you want? What do you want to be hit on? No, because then you think you're being mind raped or whatever the fuck the hot word is or hashtag is this week. But you also don't get hit on and you think everyone's an asshole. So it's like, what the fuck? Pick one or the other. That's it for this week. Ladies, get some dresses. Fix your attitude. Maybe we can be friends. But just friends, because you're still ugly.
Hey, this is Tony Tattoo, and this has been Wide Open YYC. We'd like to thank you all for joining us. And please tell your friends to subscribe to our show on YouTube and join us for the conversations on Twitter and Instagram. So remember, just be nice to each other and keep it between the ditches.